All right, welcome back for the episode of Carnivore Trade. Today is Tuesday, February 27th, 2024. If you're not done so already, please give the video a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. By the way, two more winners today in the trading room. Monster gain on Zoom video communications. Huge play this morning. Really impressive recovery, but we did short into this pump, and we had a really monster gain on the downside. This stock's actually come back pretty nicely though intraday. I'm actually pretty impressed. Usually when you get a gap up like that gets faded hard, that scares buyers away, but they've come back in. Still has some lower highs here, but nonetheless, nice trade there for us in the trading room. Also caught the low of the day on the ES as well, almost to the tick. So anyway, markets here today, just holding up here. So again, you're going to see we just had a really tight pullback. So if we just take a trend line up here, and it was, I mean, today is as slow as yesterday was. I think we're at about 30 million shares, just like we were yesterday at the same time. Real tight. This is just algo, sell program, very light volume, low value chop. Low quality, low value chop. That's what I'm calling it. We came down here into 50, 60, right into this area right here, little box there. And that's where the low of the day was. We're breaking out of this channel. Short term, I'm thinking 50, 80, and then possibly up to 50, 90 area. I also wouldn't rule out a test of 50, 40 at some point this week. Remember, we have GDP tomorrow. And then after that, we've got PCE on Thursday. That will be obviously the bigger one. I'm interested because taking a look at oil right now, this baby looks coiled. I mean, that looks ready to go. So I don't know. Maybe they're telling us something with that. By the way, the long end came down pretty sharply today, or I should say, rallied pretty sharply. The bonds came down. And right now the ZB, you're going to see that white trend line is that green bar low, which never failed. They saved it 2 weeks in a row, and we're hammering on it again. And we also have a daily bearish inside bar here. So that's setting up ahead of PCE. It's setting up ahead of GDP. You'll see how it plays out. Could be telling us something, could be nothing. But, right now, I think oil and yields look pretty good. So anyway, SPX though, so those are the levels I gave you, 50, 80. We should get up there. It's not that hard. But right now, just a 1, 2, 3 pullback. I would think we probably need to do at least one more day of backing and filling if we're going to make another advance. We'll see. But right now, like I said, bulls in control, as long as we're above 49.46. And then 49.20 would be the next major level there. That's really all we need to know or care about. Triple Qs here. I want to look at the NQ. I asked you guys a question. Let me know in the comments. I asked this on Twitter last night, and I couldn't do a poll because Elon won't let you do it that way with a picture for some reason. But I basically said, with this violation here, let me know in the comments, does this trend line still matter? And if so, how much? So my psychology, my answer was, by the way, there's no wrong answer. It's just, it's art. So, but my psychology here says that we've hit it multiple times. And yes, now that we've traded through it, it has lesser meaning in the current tense, like in present tense. But the fact that we have a distance between the hits closing out and now we're struggling to stay above it, just basically what that says to me is that momentum's declining. We know that the RSI is telling us that anyway. Again, we never just take a trade based off RSI or assume anything, but when you see it kind of confirmed by price action, it does, at least have some weight. So just something to keep in mind. I know everybody's looking for the next correction and whatnot. And, we always like to see the turn because that's where the money is made. This run has been crazy. It's getting played out to a certain extent, big tech, very extended, etc. But, again, price action is king, until we take these pivots out. We take that pivot out, then it's over with. But again, until then, bulls in control. I will say another thing too before I get too sidetracked. Google is really in bad shape. Rising wedge breakdown. You're holding onto that green bar low by a thread, and you could also make a case that you got a little head and shoulder there too. So left head or left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And you're like hammering right on that. Apple, this got saved, but this has been hammering on 180 a lot lately. And you have lower highs with it. I don't think this is going to hold that much longer. So again, what am I saying? I'm just saying that the generals and the leadership's getting even thinner. So again, doesn't mean anything till it means something, as we know, but keep an eye on those things. What is a good thing for the market, however, is IWM is up 1.3% today, gap and go. And I've been talking about this. The weekly is okay on this. It's really okay. Higher lows, kind of hammering on 205. I think this wants 210. Another thing that's positive, XBI up 6% today. This has been a laggard sector. A lot of biotech is small caps too. And another kind of, well, risk on ETF, ARC up 2.7, right? So if we're seeing rotation into like risk on, small caps, that things of that nature, growth, as big tech comes in, it's not really that bearish. Doesn't mean we can't have a correction. It just means that we're going to see money rotation underneath that, and we'd look for weekly to monthly higher lows. Something to keep on the radar in the back of your mind. Diamond here backing off 30 basis points. That can still go to 395 right now. Maybe a little bit of an island there. We'll just be cognizant of that though. SMH here up 13 cents. Again, really tight up here. Yeah, violated that. Got back inside. It's still a tightening range, so I'm going to leave the lines on there for now. Again, speaking of island, maybe, just maybe, we'll see. But it needs to confirm it with like an outside move down. And then we could go lower. IGV here, that's holding up still. So up 43 cents. Again, we talked about Zoom already. That obviously helping out. I believe Snowflake has earnings after the bell. So be careful with that one if you own it. Just be aware they have earnings. But IGV hanging in there okay. I don't really see any problems with it. Outside of potentially, if this turns out to be a lower high, that could be a problem. DJT backing off a little bit, just a little inside day here. Weekly pattern is still good. Here's another pattern I like on the weekly if there's going to be rotation. So that is holding up okay. Let me get over to interest rates here. I'll clean this up. Hold on. There's our Zoom chart from earlier. Find my yield. There we go. So 2-year basically flat. So nothing terrible there. Big green bar breakout. You're just hammering underneath this 200 MA and beneath this pivot. I believe the path of least resistance is going to be up 4.9 and then 5%. Get ready for the headlines. You're going to see it. 2-year yield hits 5%. It's going to be plastered all over the news, as it should be. 5-year, that's a coiled pattern, inside bar, set to go to 455, 460. 10-year, same thing, 450. 30-year, a little bit softer, but 460, and then maybe 475 if it really gets going. So yield's still holding up, and again, we get that breakdown on ZB on the weekly. That's going to be kind of the signal there. XHB, this just doesn't matter. I mean, people, people complain about SMCI and NVIDIA, but XHB gets away with murder here. Just another, 60 basis points for free. This is an ETF too, of low beta stocks. What can you say? It's 5, 6 in a row now. New all-time highs. VNQ up 24 cents. That's still okay on the weekly, and I still think that weekly pattern, again, like a lot of other things, could be enticing if it firms up a little bit more for rotation. XLF retesting 40. Again, next level is 41. KRE was green on the day. Again, that's why the Russell was up. So that was up 1%. I still don't like that pattern on the daily. KBE, I'm a little bit more neutral on. And broker dealers here continuing to make new all-time highs. Oil we talked about already. If this breaks 79.50 with volume, it's going to 81.50, and it can go a lot higher from there. I know there's a lot of political reasons why they might try to keep it down, but at least at face value, this pattern, this is beyond how far I think it's going to go. I think mid 80s, but technically, if you just draw that target out, that's above 90. There could be geopolitical stuff going on that could change that, so we'll see. XLE, XOP and OIH, no changes here, just kind of flat to positive, flat to negative. If oil breaks out, these are all going higher. CCJ, so that was up 2.5%. Again, we talked about this area. That's where it backed off of from. So look at that, we pierced it and now we're backing off. Next level is 45, and we'll see how it reacts there. I'm expecting lower highs on this. URNM, good bounce there. Remember, this one is still safe, but retrace level, we'll just say 52 to 53 for right now. Feels weird being able to talk about retrace levels on uranium because we haven't had them in a long time. Nat gas here up 3%. That's not including the contract gap, so it was up 3.6%. Looks a little bit firmer. We can use, if you'd like, there's a lot of contract rolls today too. This one, which is adjusted, so it doesn't have the gap, still looks a little bit firmer. You got a chance for a higher low. If you can get a higher high, you know, you're looking at 220. So, and maybe higher. I mean, nat gas, when it bounces, right? This is a 50% move. We'll see if it gets going again seasonally. This is also when it kind of bottoms out as well. Dollar index. There we go. Inside day, nothing doing there. We'll see how that holds up into GDP and PCE. 103.50 is the big level. Gold, just backing off a little bit here with the green dollar, but nothing terrible there. Pattern is fine for right now. I don't know how it's going to hold up if yields break out. Silver contract gap, it was weak yesterday though, and it is down 4 cents in real terms. If it breaks this trend line, we're going to 21. Platinum recovering some of the losses from yesterday, and palladium down 15 points, nothing terrible there. Copper contract gap, but it did back off yesterday. It was up a penny. I'm not going to make too much out of it. Bitcoin up 5%, 57.8. Well, that's pumping right now, isn't it? Looks like it, yeah, because it was backing off a little bit. Yeah, now it's going higher here. So interesting. I did buy some alts. By the way, if you catch it, Twitter Spaces at 5 p.m. I'm going to be on with Josh from Crypto Fundamentals again. We're going to talk alts and stocks. But Bitcoin acting well. ETH hit our 3,200 target. That can maybe go to 36. Maybe a little bit of climax there, pulling back off the highs. And then my three amigos of alts, Cardano, Matic, and Solana. I did pick up some of these, just so you guys know. And I like them. These patterns are really good on the weekly. Even Polkadot starting to firm up too. So some of the alts maybe getting ready to catch up. We'll see. So I still like crypto here. Bitcoin's overbought, but it tends to do that. I don't know if you've noticed. All right. So markets here, just grinding here. We should get to 50.80. Maybe not. We'll see. But 50.75, 50.80 should be where we are at by the close. Tomorrow, levels, 50.80, 50.90, 5,100. It's just easy. $10 increments, 50.60, and then 50.40 to 50.50 on the downside. If we were to go down there, those are the levels you need to watch. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up here. You guys take care. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com. Talk to you guys all tomorrow.